Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Morpheus Darkson and I welcome you all to my new video. So today we are going to be working on the Sephiroth, or the Tree of Life. So before we get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Morpheus Darkson. I am an initiate of the Kabbalistic tree. I have completed through all the 10 spheres, and I have also been doing my Qliphothic initiations and journeys, and I'm Satariel as of now. As well, I am a Norse Viti, and I am also initiated with the tarot and the Indian magical traditions like the Tantra. So I welcome you all into my channel, and I wish you guys have a great journey learning the things that I have to teach you guys. And if you want to get more information, you are free to check out my Patreon, where I post very exclusive content that I haven't posted anywhere else. And if you want to click on it, there is a few tiers. One of my best tiers is the $28.99 one, which is tier 3. This tier gives you a special course that I'm making on the Kabbalah, as well as free monthly ritual which I perform on you to improve your psychic senses and your abilities to perform magic. So anyways, if you want to check out my content, it is right there under the description. So I will see you guys on my Patreon if you want to check it out, or if you cannot afford that and you want to talk to me, I'm available on email as well as Instagram. So I will see you guys there when you're ready. So we are going to be discussing Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is a very old concept in modern magic. It was created in a very early part of the ACE, which is the era after Christ died. So what happened and what created the Tree of Life was the book called Zohar. And the Zohar created this idea, which was very much known by a lot of Jewish rabbis orally, but it was soon written down into a new format. And also the book Sefer Yetzirah helped with making this a more modern and more knowledgeable subject. Those knowledges diluted and dissolved into modern Kabbalah, which is used by the Christian sects, which are Freemasonry and others, as well as the Hermetic Kabbalah, which is done by the Hermetic groups and the Hermetic orders, which is the Golden Dawn, OTO, any other Telema associated organizations, as well as other secret societies like Theosophy. So what we're going to do today is we are going to be discussing the Tree of Life, its various aspects, how to initiate through them, and I will give you guys a basic instruction and warning that I want to inform you guys about. So without any further ado, let's get started into the Sephirothic initiations. First, let me inform you guys that the Sephiroth that you normally see in the modern times is very much inverted. If you see the Sephiroth that I have up here, in this we have the Tree of Life, where if you look at it from the normal side, you will see that it has Keter, Chokmah, Bina, Hesed, Gevura, Tiferet, Nexak, Hod, Yesod, and Malkut. This is right. This is perfectly all right. You also have that on it. But you will see one thing. If you look at it from this side, you will see that the Tree of Life that we're seeing right now is very much inverted. And what do you mean by inverted? What I mean by inverted is that this Tree of Life, if you look at it from this side, try to imagine yourself as a deity. Try to imagine yourself as a being. That is this Tree of Life. You will realize that the Tree of Life itself that you're seeing here is inverted, because it's the left hand that you're showing with Bina, Gevura, and Hod. It is very much on your right side. So if you understand what I mean, then you're going to be very much recipient to this information that I have to release. So I will not say that I am the first one who has gotten this information. I have received this information from Jeremiah Schwartz from Universal Mastery, and also read the book The Holy Kabbalah by A.E. White. So if you want to get more information on that, you will check that out. I've also confirmed it with my spirit guides, and I also worked with other peoples who have worked with this tree by inverting it, and they have gotten very good results. So the tree of life is a very much interesting subject. The most common idea that the tree of life is that it is the timeline of the Jewish God, how he created our world. However, I will propose a different theory, a theory which I very much focus on in my third video in the series Occult 101 for my patrons, which is available to everyone from $5 to $50. So, if you want to study it, first we go by this word. This is a proper tree of life that I've made. If you look at it, you will realize this is how the tree is supposed to be. So at first we have Kether. Kether is the creation, basically the awareness of God that came into being. Before that we have the transpherotic spheres or veils, which are basically Ein Sof and Ein Sof Or, which are the manifestations of God getting awareness. And in traditional Kabbalah, it is very much believed that the God is outside of the tree of life. The tree of life are basically emanations that are forming of the God, Yahweh, Jehovah, the monad, basically whatever you want to call it. This idea is that the tree of life is a physical universe which is created by either expanding of God or by the shrinking of God, which is to create space. Depending on different logics and different ideologies, you will find different stories on how that happened. But I don't want to discuss that today. What I want to discuss is that the tree of life here is Kether when it first formed. Kether is the first period if you work from top to down. This is the unity of God. This is when God at first manifested in our world, where the world basically formed into being. This is connected by the divine knowledge that the God is one, the one true source of energy. This is the first awareness of God that formed into a shell which created other worlds. Then on the spear we have the spear of Chokmah. The Chokmah is the ninth spear, and it is a very interesting spear because it is the divine Lord basically emanating its light seed into the world. The way to describe it would be the divine light that seeded and created many heroes. I don't remember which Hindu figure it was, but I think there were a few Hindu figures who were born of the light that went into the womb of the mothers, which is how Jesus also was supposedly born. And this parallels the story of the divine seed, which in this Kabbalistic tradition refers to as Chokmah, which is wisdom coming into form. This is basically the power of God, basically channeling its divine light, which is unrivaled potential. This potential just forms and forms and forms, which without any direction, without giving it any direction, would be just useless. So Chokmah would be referred to as the divine masculine, which I would not say divine masculine, but I would say Chokmah and the next spear to be the mother and the father genitals, which is Chokmah is the divine semen that created the world. Or it could be the divine force, which was the golden penis of Osiris and of the green man, which we see in various world traditions. And then we go to my favorite spear, which helped me with understanding a lot of things. This spear is called Bina. Bina is the mother. It is the dark energies of Saturn that formed as the divine womb, which held the force of Chokmah and then created the rest of the world. In Kabbalistic traditions, there is a divine explosion when the union happened and created the abyss, which after crossing created the rest of the tree of life. So I'm not going to explain the tree of life from top to down now. We did the top triad, which is a more important one because that is very much connected to the source of creation. And then we will be discussing the initiation through the spheres. So if you want to get a proper understanding of this, you can get on my Patreon with the tier 3 membership, where you will get an entire walking course on the Sephiroth as well as a Qliphoth coming up very soon. So if you go on the 3rd tier of my Patreon, you will get those as well as free discounts to all of my rituals and a free ritual at the end of every month to increase your psychic awareness. So we're going to be discussing something which is very much how we are going to end up dealing with this entire thing. So first we are going to be invoking and understanding the tree of life from the bottom to top. So from the bottom we will be understanding this specific thing, which is this beautiful thing. It is Malkuth. So what Malkuth does is it's the awareness of the physical world. It is the mortal world where we are born. It is the program where we are contracted and programmed into. We are basically stuck in this matrix until we gain awareness about what we are. So Malkuth, we can say, is basically what the world is in the end. It is the physical realm, the realm of 3 dimensions where nothing else can work. So we go from Malkuth to Yesod. Yesod is a very interesting thing. If we go from Malkuth to Yesod, you will find that Yesod is very simple, just like Malkuth is. Because Yesod is the mind. It is connected to the planet of Moon hour, which is our lovely Luna. So what Moon does is it allows you to think. Yesod is the mind of God. If a person who does Kabbalistic magic seeks to gain awareness and gain divinity and the divine power of God, they will be going from top to up. So from the top, from Malkuth, you will be stuck as a mortal, but then comes Yesod. What Yesod does, it basically gives you a spark or divinity where you be conscious about what you are. It is basically understanding your consciousness. It is the term I am that I am, where you become your own divine spark of creation. Then what it allows us to do is allows us to understand and concentrate on the mind, how the mind is connected to everything else. So from Yesod, the world gets connected to Malkuth. So the world, which is some multiple spheres, get connected to Malkuth by Yesod. And Yesod balances the spheres of Hod and Netzach. Every single sphere from the middle pillar, except of Malkuth and Dath, which are very similar and have different esoteric meanings, which I will explain in a later video on my Patreon, we will see that everything from Keter to everything is balancing everything. So Yesod manifests and controls the balance as Hod as well as Netzach. Tifereth balances Hesed and Gevurah. And then at the top we see Chokmah and Bina, which are connected and balanced by Keter. So the reason for me to tell you this is to make you understand how the tier of life works. So we go from Yesod to Hod, which is the next sphere. So Hod is very interesting. Once again, awareness. What you're gonna do is you will be gaining messages. If Yesod is the tarot card that you get when you gain your divine spark, this pretty thing that you pull out from a tarot deck is Hod. It is the divine message that you get. This looks better, but it is a divine message that you get. If you see, the tarot is a very good explanation, because what you do in this is you gain the tarot in Yesod, which is gaining your own identity, where you gain the divine sparks. Then comes Hod, which is very much understanding and gaining information. Gain the information that you need to go ahead. These are the divine messages that you get. And then what next sphere is very simply Netzach. It's understanding, where you gain understanding of this tarot and the message that you get. So what we're going to do now is we will be going to the next sphere. which is Tiferet. So Tiferet is very interesting as well, because Tiferet, what it does is it allows for all the studies that you have done and all that you will do to coalesce into one being. So Tiferet is where you feel the energies of Hokmah and Bina just a little bit flutter, and the droplets of their divine energies manifest, and this is where you're gonna feel the energies just dripping onto you. You will feel small little parts. It's more like an aftertaste of beer that you have. Then Tiferet will be balancing the Christ consciousness, which is formed after the light and the dark mix, and this is where as above so below manifests, because Tiferet is where it separates into the top as well as the bottom. You will be understanding it on a later date, but I hope you do, because I want you to tell me about it, because I love seeing people understand the knowledge that I have. So Tiferet allows for Gevura to manifest and balance. Gevura is a very volatile sphere. If we go from Tiferet to Gevura, you will see that Gevura is the spear of war. It is the war. It's the warrior spirit of God. It is the axe that cuts down a tree. What Gevura represents is the light, and not the light in a simple way. It is the dark light. It is the anger that is God. A person gets after they have initiated and after they have lost people. While the rest of the tree of life is very light, there is darkness in Gevura, which allows it to become chaotic if not balanced by Tiferet as well as Hesed. While Gevura is a wrath of all that a person, others have done. Hesed, what it does is Hesed will allow for understanding and compassion to see through. It is mercy, it is compassion, it is justice. So instead of basically the dark thoughts of Gevura forcing you to kill a person, becoming the spirit of mass incarnated, Hesed will allow you to think clearly. It will allow justice and mercy to come through, to punish the person but not overdo it. And then we see the abyss, which is very much the final frontier. It is not a spear, but it can be a spear. It is the waters which lead the dead from the living and to the underworld. It is the river Styx. So Dath is the 11th spear. It is ruled by Shugal, which is an entity from the front side of the tree. And if you flip it and you go to the Qliphoth, it is protected and supported by Quran's. So that is the place where a person must go if they want to understand the tree of life. If they want to go from bottom to up and from top to bottom, they will have to go through that, because that is a dissolution agent. It brings darkness, it brings death, it brings destruction into the life of a person. But in order to understand the tree of life, in order to understand the tree of death, one must understand death. One must understand that, which is knowledge that is gained after understanding death itself. So while the rest of the tree we understood and gained information, while we understood the power that is received by the tree of life, what that will do is it will dissolve the light into darkness. It will dissolve it into an evil force which a person must control and go through in order to understand and be basically at peace with the other spheres. And after that we will go to Bina, Hokmah and Keter, which I have already told you about. So what I want to do is I will be creating a course on my Patreon for tier 3 and up, to allow people to understand and utilize the power of the tree of life fully in a proper manner, so they do not lose their soul or cause any harm to themselves. As well as if you want to study the Sephiroth, there is a PDF that is on my website, where it is on my Patreon specifically. And if you can go to my Patreon, and even if you get tier 1, you will get this PDF which is filled with spells about the tree of life. If you have initiated through the tree of life every single sphere, you will be able to use this specific PDF to manifest life. You will be able to manifest creation, ideas, concepts. You will be able to do anything you desire, to be honest. This is the power of the tree of life. And if you want to study and learn more about it, you can DM me on Instagram, and you can also text me and comment under this video if you want to learn more about it. or if you think I need to inform you guys more about this or that, I'm always here to listen to you. So I will see you guys later. Goodbye, have a great day, take care, and take care of your families.